Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening. I'm Will Granger. I'm using this podcast and my Substack newsletter to post about my writing process and research from my upcoming historical fiction novel, When Royal Heads Are Hunted. My newsletter is free and I'm never going to charge for subscriptions. So this episode, I just want to talk a little more about Mound Key, the home or headquarters, maybe you'd call it, for the Calusa Indians in Estero Bay in Florida near Fort Myers. Mound Key is a man-made island made just of shells piled up from Calusas and people that lived in the area even before them for several thousand years. Some of the features on the island, there are two large mounds, sort of like small hills, about 30 or so feet high. On one of the mounds was the Calusa King's, I don't know if palace is the word, but sort of the large house. It was sort of a meeting house, and it was said to be able to hold at least 2,000 people. Then on the other mound, the Calusas allowed the Spaniards to build a fort there. I think it was Fort San Antonio de Carlos, and they built a fort and a church there, and that features a lot in the history of the Calusas and also in my story. Now, in between the two mounds, there was sort of a canal, and water could come through at certain times. And then right at the entrance to the island, there were sort of fish pools or fish ponds, and the Calusas would trap fish in there, and then they would sort of have a ready supply of fresh fish that they could take whenever they wanted. And you can still see some remnants of where the fish ponds were, but the mounds you can definitely see if you go there. So thanks again for listening. I'd really appreciate it if you could share and restack this episode. I'm also trying to get people to know the title of my book, When Royal Heads Are Hunted. If you want to learn more about my work and read some of my longer posts, please check out my Substack newsletter, Will Granger's Writing and Historical Fiction, at granger.substack.com. Thanks. Have a great week.